FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe fails miserably to excuse corruption with 2 words, by Dan Lindsay, Politics US News for MadWorldNews.com. Professional liar for hire and former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe is trying desperately to control the narrative of his firing before he's likely prosecuted as a criminal. You won't believe the 2 pathetic words he's using to explain his corrupt behavior. According to Daily Caller, former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe was terminated from the Bureau on Friday, March 16, 2018, 2 days before he planned on retiring with his full pension. Millions of American patriots who waited to see if Attorney General Jeff Sessions would do the right thing and get rid of McCabe were ecstatic when the Trump-hating FBI official was canned for not being truthful with investigators from the Department of Justice. Now that he's been let go, McCabe is trying desperately to control the story of his firing in a pathetic attempt to make it look like President Donald Trump had him terminated for political reasons. Nothing could be further from the truth, but McCabe spent years perfecting the art of dishonesty and is now employing those skills as he gets ready for the coming storm. Andrew McCabe's firing specifically had to do with his less than forthcoming statements to investigators who questioned him in regards to the FBI's handling of the Hillary Clinton email probe. McCabe reportedly authorized a subordinate to give information to the Wall Street Journal for an article published just weeks before the presidential election of 2016. Because McCabe was the FBI deputy director at the time, he was allowed to interact with the press under certain guidelines. However, the investigators who interviewed him found that he was not completely honest in his answers during the questioning. And many think that there's much more that will come out about McCabe's conduct during his career at the FBI. Sure, getting fired after 20 plus years with the FBI is not exactly the best way to go out, but McCabe earned his own fate with his decisions. In no way does McCabe deserve a free pass for any wrongdoing. He should be held responsible for to the fullest extent of the law in the same way that he was supposed to hold others to that standard. But taking responsibility isn't his strong point. Proving just that, McCabe authored an op-ed in the Washington Post on Friday, March 23, 2018, insisting that his termination was politically motivated while spinning a deranged narrative about how he was confused and distracted during the time that he was interviewed by investigators from the office of the Inspector General Michael Horowitz, who works for the Department of Justice. When asked about contacts with a reporter that were fully within my power to authorize as deputy director, and amid the chaos that surrounded me, I answered questions as completely and accurately as I could, McCabe wrote. But the really amusing part of McCabe's op-ed was his easygoing and casual tone when explaining away his dishonesty. And when I realized that some of my answers were not fully accurate or maybe have been misunderstood, I took the initiative to correct them, he added. The best segment of the former deputy director's load of bull was Andrew McCabe's claim that he takes full responsibility. Clearly, he has done anything but own up to his wrongdoing. At worst, I was not clear in my responses, and because of what was going on around me, may well have been confused and distracted, and for that I take full responsibility, but that is not a lack of candor, McCabe wrote. Really? Is it that easy to get away with lying to federal investigators? After all, under Andrew McCabe's watch, it didn't work that way for retired Army General Michael Flynn when he was found to have made false statements to the FBI. Flynn's life has since been turned upside down and his family has been put through hell. Did McCabe offer his confused and distracted get out of jail free explanation to Flynn? Not hardly, right? Absolutely. Let's just see what's over there.
Hunter Walker is in Washington. He is the White House correspondent for Yahoo News. Hunter, first we're going to start with a little bit of breaking news. Former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe published an opinion piece Friday night in the Washington Post. That's almost exactly a week after he was fired for lack of candor. Here's what he wrote, quote, "At worst, I was not clear in my responses, and because of what was going on around me, may well have been confused and distracted, and for that I take full responsibility." He also said that he did not knowingly mislead or lie to investigators. He said his lack of candor under no circumstances could it ever serve as the basis for the very public and extended humiliation of my family and me that the administration and the president personally have engaged in over the past year. So what is your reaction to this?
Well, the former deputy director said he had done nothing wrong. And while that might be debatable, I think the general consensus is that there was an unusual cruelness that accompanied his firing, which, as your viewers probably know, came one day before he was due to be able to retire. And also it came with a lot of public statements from President Trump. What he revealed in this column was that he learned about it from TV. So there was a unique level of humiliation that came with this for a long-serving civil servant. What really struck me was that he aired out all those details. And I think as we see President Trump have this sort of ongoing war with the intelligence community, he's really making a lot of enemies there. They were not happy with how McCabe, who was quite well liked, was treated. And, as he just showed, they have the ability to leak details. They also have the ability to investigate the president. And I think he's repeatedly been warned from former intelligence community members, from experts, that it's just not a good enemy to have. And this is just a real ratcheting up and an indication of just how bad things have gotten.
Yeah, no question. McCabe said essentially he woke up to find the President of the United States celebrating my punishment is the way he called it. But
yeah, well, too bad for McCabe. Everybody was celebrating. We're trying to drain the swamp, not keep the swamp in business. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.